the state that doesn't eat bananas while making eye contact.
I'm Tyler.
And I'm Cody.
And this is the Edible Attitude Podcast. So, buddy.
What's up?
Want to hear something I learned today?
Hell yeah.
What do you know about the Smurfs?
They're blue, and they're little.
They are blue.
And there's a bunch of them. And one girl, right?
One girl, yeah.
One female to procreate with, to respawn with, to make new Smurfs with. That's weird.
I have no idea.
And now, a few words from Mike, the Material Man.
That's bullshit.
It's the only one I've ever seen. Smurfette, right?
Well,
Who's even a fake? She's not even like a full Smurf.
Yeah, she's not even real.
She's made by that Gargamel Balls dude, or
Gargamel
his name is.
Gargamel?
Yeah, that's who it
Gargamel.
is.
Well, the Smurfs actually began as a Belgian comic franchise.
As a Belgium comic franchise.
Yes.
The Smurfs did.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is centered on a fictional colony of small, blue humanoid creatures who lived in mushroom-shaped houses in the forest.
Accurate to what I know.
So they were first introduced and created by the artist Peyo. P-E-Y-O. Peyo.
Peyo.
There are more than 100 Smurf characters, and their names are based on different adjectives that emphasize their characteristics.
Right.
They wear the white Phrygian caps, which eventually came to represent freedom. And in ancient Rome, the caps also signify freedom due to the resemblance with a felt cap worn by the emancipated slaves.
Oh.
Fun fact on that.
So it's like free the slaves, righteous symbolism?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So the origin of the Smurfs themselves came from another book that Peyo was writing. The other book was set in Europe during the Middle Ages and included different elements of like sword and sorcery. There's a guy named Johann. Yes, Johann. And he serves as a brave young page to the king.
As a brave young page?
Yes.
A page?
Like a page.
Like a page in a book?
Not a page in a book. Like a servant guy.
Oh, I've just never heard that term before.
Neither have I.
Like a page.
But he also has a friend named Peewit.
Peewit. A lot of peas.
Yes. He functions as his faithful, boastful, cheering dwarf sidekick.
Okay, I like dwarves. They like drinking and eating.
Some of their adventures involve like recovering a magic flute, doing some sorcery from like an evil wizard type thing.
Do we know what the flute does?
No, it's just
magical.
It's just the story that Peewit and Johann go through.
Okay.
In their adventures, they meet tiny blue-skinned humanoids wearing the white clothing with an elderly leader who wore red clothing and had a white beard.
Papa Smurf.
So their first full appearance was published in like a magazine in like 1958. So the Smurfs have been around for a while.
Not as old as I thought, though. I thought it was like early 1900s. You know, was kind of guess what I was like 1920s or 30s, I guess, is what I was imagining for some reason.
Maybe
1958, though. No, we know.
Right.
I just thought they were a little bit older, I guess, for some reason. Well, my grandmother, who was born in the 30s, enjoyed them, right? So I thought she, as a young kid, enjoyed it. That's what she had for us as kids, was some Smurf books and things.
Oh, that would make sense then.
So I thought, like around that time is maybe when they were out.
Right.
Not when she would have been 20 or something, you know?
Yeah, when I was doing research, I thought the same thing. I was like, wow, I thought they'd be older. Their first independent appearance as a Smurf comic book series was the following year in 1959. So because of the Johann and Peewit adventures, they became popular.
Yeah, popular. But not Johann and Peewit. The Smurfs.
The Smurfs.
Everyone was like, screw the main characters. We like these little guys better.
Right. I mean, Peewit and Johann are still around, but not near as popular or small little human.
I've never heard of it.
People.
Yeah.
That was kind of the first origin.
Right.
That we all know and love. Kind of where they come from, what they do.
The classic.
Here's my question for the second version of Smurfs. If you
Second version.
Yeah.
Fuck you mean second version?
So this is a different version I
Okay.
learned about on the internet.
I love it.
Where do Smurfs live?
Mushrooms.
They live in
right?
mushrooms.
In the forest.
Mm-hmm. In this other origin, the theory is that these Smurfs come from the mushrooms. And in order to come from the mushrooms, they have to lure children into snowdrifts.
Excuse me? Whoa, 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 whoa. What?
And the reasoning behind that is because when the children fall in the snowdrifts, they don't get found until spring. So when the bodies
And
are
then
found
the
in spring,
mushrooms are already growing.
right, and
Oh,
that's where the Smurfs
no.
come from.
No, man.
The Smurf villages,
Oh,
because they live
Tyler.
in mushrooms, right?
Yeah.
That's where the children fall over and don't get back up.
No.
Were you not ready for this?
Oh, no. Tyler. Is this some Reddit like fan page of like Smurf horror stories that we're reading right
No.
now? Or
No, this is
what is
from this is from another country.
Oh, really?
Yes, I'm not going to say
Okay.
another country, but it's from another country.
Oh, okay.
So different origin. The Smurfs' skin are blue because they are mocking the children.
Oh, bro, it's so dark. It's so dark
They also wear the white hats to mock the children
in the
because-
snow.
because the white hats symbolize the,
The
snow.
snow,
Yeah.
right? Because it's white.
Mm-hmm.
Holy shit, dude!
And-
Holy smokes!
And the bad guy, Gargamel,
Gargle my balls.
a Gargamel balls. Yeah, he's actually a good sorcerer that's trying to rescue the children from the Smurfs.
Oh,
Maybe it's two different versions.
maybe. Yeah, I mean it is, but that's crazy. My question is, wait, where is Belgium? It's in Europe, right?
Yes.
I'm just wondering, why do they have the same story but in reverse with the Gargamel anyway? Because he's bad in the American or Belgium version,
Maybe
but he's good in the other version.
maybe some lady made it up to scare her children.
And then told all her friends,
Yeah, like, oh, this really works.
check this shit out.
We can keep
These
can
little
keep the
shits
children
won't get out of bed ever again.
because we're reading this goddamn book about Johann and Peewit and fantasizing about blue-skinned people.
They're gonna stay in town when it's wintertime. They're not gonna go on the big hill to go sledding anymore.
Yeah,
We got them.
they're gonna stay home.
Chores. Man, thanks for ruining my childhood. They lure kids, you said.
Yeah,
So they're evil. It's not even, well, wait. So the first one came by accident?
the first Smurf.
Papa Smurf?
Smurf.
Was that like an old kid? Why is he old and the rest are regular? If it's kids.
I think he's old to represent like knowledge, like he's an elderly being in the
Okay.
community.
He's the OG.
Yeah.
He's the one who got. Okay, so it makes sense, right?
Oh, here
the
we go.
First one was an accident,
Could have been
right?
because he wanted to play with the child instead.
How would there have been Smurfs to lure them if their origins is from the dead kids?
Maybe.
So it had to have been an accident.
Maybe-
If they're from the dead kids,
Oh, yeah,
where's the first one to lure it? Where did it come from?
that's true.
Right? So the first one was an accident of some sort in the perfect setting for this to happen.
To spawn
Yep. To
the
spawn the
first
shrooms.
group of Smurfs.
Yeah, the evil little prick. Okay. Papa Smurf. Papa prick.
Papa Brick.
Yeah. And then since he deceived the other children, like he's the one who lured the other ones in, it was purposeful. Therefore, having an alternate appearance from Papa, because that was nature's calling, Papa prick manipulated the other one, right? That's why they look different. And then little she lady Smurfette, was she made by Gargle My Balls in the
Yes, she was created.
So same thing in both stories. And that's why she's a girl. Because she's different too. Different way of creation.
Originally, Smurfette was created to trick the Smurfs, being brought back to Gargamel's house.
for good or bad reasons. This is fucking crazy, man.
Right. Let's unpack this a little bit. Let's visit a different character in the Smurf universe.
Okay.
I said Gargamel was a good sorcerer that was trying to rescue the children.
And he was a sorcerer too, so he's like
Right.
a wizard.
Right.
He's got he had it like a staff already, right? He was magical. He already was a wizard. What am I talking about?
Right.
He was doing magic, yeah.
I don't think he had a staff, but yeah, he was
doing magic, yeah.
So Gargamel first appeared as a bad guy, with the Smurfs with their appearance in 1959. He originally needed to catch a Smurf for an ingredient for a potion to make gold.
He's transmuting Smurfs
Right.
into gold.
Well, he's trying to get this thing.
This is the Belgium one?
Yeah. So he's trying to get this thing called the Philosopher's Stone. Different from Harry Potter. It's different from Harry Potter.
Hold on. Is that where Harry Potter got it from? J.K. Rowling?
No, it's a different one. It's a different stone.
But
So-
the name, I mean, come on.
But the name is
That's the
similar.
British version, is the Philosopher's Stone.
Right.
The English version is the Sorcerer's Stone.
That's bullshit.
The Philosopher's Stone in the Smurf version was given to him by his godfather,
Merlin.
Lord Balthazar. Gargamel's main objectives are to transform the Smurfs into gold with the Philosopher's Stone, or to eat them, or to just plain kill them.
What does eating them provide? Magic? Different source of magic?
Maybe he's just hungry.
He's just a hungry little guy. Okay, and then the
He
third one
just-
is just to rid them.
He just needs sustenance.
But options 2 and 3 sound like a waste. Why not do all gold?
That's what I'm thinking. But what's he going to use the gold for on the island that they're on, or the place that they're at?
Well, if he can somehow get the money, get the gold. If he can somehow use the gold, if someone gets there, or they get somewhere from a raft, leave the gold there, bury it, right?
I suppose that makes
And then
sense.
go
Yeah.
somewhere and come back and get it. Sitting there with a pile of gold won't do you any good,
Unless he's using the gold for other potions, so it's like an
That-
additives.
right? Powerful potions. Gold is the most precious metal we have. It's not valuable because it's pretty. It's valuable because of what it can do. I mean, it makes sense. Yeah, because gold can do crazy shit.
Gold can do a lot of stuff.
And it can just keep getting like melted down and reformed and melted down and reformed and melted down and reformed and melted down and reformed and
Melted down and reformed. Yeah.
Mhm. Where other ones you're losing some every time and eventually you have none.
So
Gold ain't like that.
So what else do you think Gargamel was doing with this gold though? Other than
I'm not a wizard, bro. I don't know what kind of spells he can do
well,
with
I
it.
mean, we've played video games with gold in them. What else?
We
could
buy
you do?
shit. I mean,
yeah, you could buy
Usually you
stuff,
buy shit with gold.
right? But you could
Or
also
you get
craft
gold
things.
weapons
Ooh.
that they're stronger.
Yeah, there's that.
Is he gold plating sticks out there on the island? Coconuts?
Just make,
Coconut gold. That'd probably be heavy as fuck.
just making his
bowling
house
balls.
bougie as
Yeah.
fuck without this
The whole
gold.
island sheening. Everyone can see it from 10 miles away. He'll get rescued.
It's like a big old circular
Yeah,
shiny
He'll just be
lighthouse.
transmuting the gold onto everything else.
So they rallied against him originally, right?
Smurfs.
Yep. And they freed the kidnapped Smurf.
Right.
And then, following his defeat, he was quoted in swearing revenge by saying, "From now on, the conflict would be personal."
As it should be. Should be on site at that point.
Right. Now he's
Yeah.
got a vendetta.
Right.
So should the Smurfs.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, no, for sure. They're way smaller than him too, and he's a wizard. Yeah, they should be ready on site. They should be prepared at all moments. What I don't understand, if he just wants to kill him, why doesn't he just go stomping through the fucking village? Just,
He doesn't know where their
Clomp,
village is.
clomp, clomp. He finds it eventually, I'm sure. He's
Eventually,
got to.
but it keeps moving. They keep
Oh.
moving it.
To each new dead kid where they lure him. Damn, homie.
I mean, not during the original
Do you
comic.
think
but,
they're stacking bodies in the winter? They just got like 6 hideouts per year minimum.
But maybe. I mean, they got to move somehow. They're just like, man, we got to hide underneath
Damn.
this kid.
Underground networks to each dead body.
That's a
I mean,
possibility.
They're kind of magical too, right? Papa Smurf can do a little magic.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, he can.
Plus, they got mini hands. Mini hands make light work.
True.
Yeah.
Very true. Gargamel's name originally descends from a Jewish heritage, as does his cat, Azrael.
Azrael, that's right. I always thought that was a kind of a cool name for a cat.
The name Gargamel resembles a classic book about a giantess and her mother.
Okay. So he's two big bitches.
Two big bitches. Gargamel's cat, Azrael.
Mm-hmm.
In Jewish and Muslim tradition, Azrael is the angel who separates the soul from the body at death, also known as the angel of death.
That's why he sounds so familiar. That's why the name's so familiar. Okay, he's an angel. He's angel of death.
Right.
Yeah.
In Hebrew, Azrael's name is translated to God is my helper.
I thought the angels were God's helpers.
Right.
Well, yeah, God helped them too. Makes sense. He's like, here, little buddies, this is what you do.
You're the
This is how you
buddies.
do it."
We got to do it this way.
Yeah.
Wild, right?
This whole story's wild. Both sides.
There's the other side of Gargamel, the good sorcerer Gargamel.
Oh, yeah.
In history, the name Gargamel is not associated with the bad guy at all, but instead a poor priest in a black cassock. They're related to a priest of the Dominican order who carried out the Inquisition in the 12th and 13th centuries in Europe.
Okay.
And they usually lived in a church with a bell tower.
Ding.
It's said that the main Smurfs represent the 7 deadly sins
yeah.
hidden in the sympathy and tenderness of some little blue men.
The sympathy and tenderness of little blue men. I had never imagined I'd hear that sentence in my life.
Sympathy and
The
tenderness.
tenderness of the little blue men.
So Papa Smurf is dressed in red because he's the head of all the capital sins. Thus, he is the devil.
Oh, right,
Mhm.
right. Yeah, yeah, because it's murder. Murder is capital punishment. It's capital sin, right?
Right.
That is the sin of sins, right? It's murdering somebody, murdering a human.
So Gargamel's job as a priest is to rid the 7 deadly sins.
Right.
Try to make
Right.
absolution.
Yeah. Fight the devil and his
this-
work.
And the Smurfs were the evil spirits in the woods that reproduced in the days of the full moon with magical spells.
It sounds like an orgy in the moonlight.
I mean, it could be. I don't know. It's Smurfs, man.
That's bullshit.
After the Smurfs, and I know we're kind of backtracking here, do you think that the Smurfs, after they've lured and killed these kids who are frozen and under the ice, do they have to just let them sit there? Or do they have to go do a little rain dance on their ass and do they hang out on them? Is it like Makeout Lane or something, like Lover's Lane?
Well,
Like,
they
go hang
come-
out on the dead kids, teenagers, and I don't know. What do they just let them sit there and?
Well, they come from the mushrooms that are under the kid, so they have to wait for the mushrooms to grow.
Right, but is there extra ritual? Is there?
I wouldn't think
Do they
so.
sit on top? Because the mushrooms are underneath, so what's wrong with sitting on top? Do those then Smurfs hang out and chill out on top of the dead kid, waiting for spring, waiting for the shrooms to pop?
I wouldn't think so. I would think they would just realize that there's a snowdrift there. There's probably a kid in it. They probably marked their.
I guarantee they know where it is if they're lowering it,
Right.
and that's where their houses are going to be.
So they just have to wait, and then when the Smurfs pop up, they're like, "Hey guys, guess what we've been doing?"
Yeah, you know, they're like proud of it, and they're like, "Let's go have a picnic on Johnny.
Oh, that's where they're blue, though. That would make
Let's
sense.
go make out on Sally.
Let's go make out on
Or,
Sally.
or I don't know, man. These are just thoughts that come to my head. What do they do with the kids? They just sit there?
Well, the kids eventually get found, I'm sure.
Do they go into the snow and put makeup on them and change their clothes and fuck
No,
with the people who are
probably
gonna
not.
find the bodies?
No.
Swap out all their clothes.
Maybe.
Boys in dresses, girls in ball caps and hoodies or something.
Just to fuck with people.
Yeah. Why are all our dead kids cross dressed? What's happening?
This is not how he was when he
No.
left.
Hey, that's Sally's dress.
Why is it on Dave?
Yeah. Why does Dave got on ballerina shoes?
So the apparent innocence of the Smurfs?
Helps luring the kids in.
Right. It's just a disguise to hide the evil on the earth.
Right.
So they're just like, hey, come have fun, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, like
dead.
the devil. The demons, right?
Yeah.
They act friendly to lure you in and then they snatch your ass. Snatch! If you're enjoying this topic and would like to talk more about it,
You can find us at Edible Attitude or at Edible Attitude Podcast on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. When the Smurfs first appeared in the Johann and Peewit books.
Mm-hmm. The Belgian American version.
Right. They lived in part of the world called the Cursed Land, and in order to reach it, it required magic,
That's bullshit.
traveling through dense forests, deep marshes, scorching deserts, and a high mountain range. In order to get there, the Smurfs themselves used storks to travel the long distance.
Makes sense. Sounds a whole lot easier than that other shit.
And the storks are the only way to get like information and keep up to date with the outside world. So they must have had like a whole entire.
Well, they're delivering babies, dude. I mean, they can do other things too, right?
The storks, yeah,
Yeah.
deliver
That's where babies
messages.
come from, right? Messages, babies, presents.
Smurfs.
Smurfs. They're pulling in all the money.
Oh yeah, they got a plan. So Johann and Peewit
Yep.
had actually visited the Smurf village in their books, and it was again made up of mushroom-like houses
Right. Okay.
with different shapes and sizes.
Not from dead children.
Not a lot of trees, but a lot of rocky land.
Oh, interesting. So where do the mushrooms come from then? Because a lot of mushrooms grow on dead trees, right? Not all, but definitely have mushrooms that grow on grass.
So they got the mushrooms from deep within the forest area where they lived.
Oh, they cultivated them,
That's what it sounds like.
transplanted them.
Right? They would have to go on like an adventure to find their house.
Right deep in the forest, lug it back out to the rocks.
They'd have to. Look like ants at that point.
Gotta do what you gotta do, I guess. That's what you want to live in. That's what you want your abode to be.
The only humans that were known to live by were the bad Gargamel. Other than a Smurf like taking you there, you can't find the Smurf village.
Right. It's protected by magic. It's
Right.
like invisible.
Right. Yep. So let's talk about more about those mushrooms where the dead children fell.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what do you think happened after the fact? Like after they had more Smurfs pop up from the mushrooms?
See, that's what I'm trying to figure out. How, like, did they calculate a village size that they wanted to keep or needed to keep to sustain way of life? Or were they just out there slaying kids and like growing and being little pests and making little army and little villages all over the place and just, wrecking havoc, just spreading their little psychotic evilness everywhere? Or was it just one little village
They'd have to sustain it somehow.
sustaining?
Or if there's multiple villages from the children,
Mm-hmm.
and Smurfs are so small that it wouldn't matter how many of them there were.
Right, they can't possibly like eat enough to kill the earth, right? With how small they are.
No, and they just eat fruits and vegetables anyway.
Right,
They
but
don't
they
actually eat the children.
they just spread everywhere, like children of the corn for some reason. But that doesn't make any sense. Fog, like the Fog movie, maybe that's what I'm thinking of. Just seeping into everything and
It could be.
just murdering kids all over the place.
They don't actually do it. They just lure them into the snow. The snow does it. Like they don't kill them themselves. They're the ones that just lure the children.
So if you
into the
set up
snow.
an accidental explosion somewhere, it just happens to blow up. It's not your fault, but you
no,
plan the whole situation. It's not your fault. Is that what you're claiming?
that's not what I'm saying at all.
That sounds like a private school kid if I ever heard one.
So what do you think their objective was, though? Like when they just have so many Smurfs, what do you think they're trying to do? And if Good Gargamel is trying to protect the children, what does he know about their end game? If they have an end
So,
game,
what is their end game? Like I said, is it just to spread and
just grow the colony.
invisibly conquer the world under, like the little world anyway?
The little
Just
world.
spread across the world and be everywhere, and then maybe they'd have enough power to overtake. Who knows? I don't know, because they can fit a whole lot of little things in a small area. I
Instead
don't
of a
know.
gold island, it's just solid blue because there's so many Smurfs.
But they're invisible, right? They have magic protecting them. When they're in their home,
Yeah, you can't find it unless you're led to it by a
right?
Smurf.
And at least in the movies, they use teleportation, like warps, like portals, right?
Yeah, so there since that time, that book that came out, the comic
Yeah.
book, till now, their powers seem to have grown exponentially.
Of course.
Because before they didn't have warp power.
Well, they're fighting a wizard.
Yeah, they would have to.
Yeah. And they're learning
But if they're bad, like, what are they using their warp powers for? To go to other worlds or
to lure kids
universes?
to die. Yeah, who knows? To warp. To get in and out of luring kids to die in random places, to expand their village, to take over everything. That's one thing to warp for, right? So you're not running through the woods.
I thought you said that's one thing to whoop for.
Whoop whoop.
Whoop.
What else would you warp for? Food. They probably got like favorite food spots, berry patches, and whatever else they eat.
Yeah, probably.
So they probably can warp in and out of there.
And I
Fresh
mean,
water if they need it.
right?
Those kinds of things would
They
be
got
my
little-
first thought.
They got little like fast travel points set up everywhere.
Yep.
They do use crystals though.
Yeah. Where do those come from?
I don't know.
They transmute them like the gold.
Could be. Maybe they find some stuff in the forest and they
Yeah.
transmute the crystals. Maybe
Right.
maybe some rock
Right.
or some iron,
Right.
or they use the gold from the dead Smurfs.
Maybe. My question for you. So we're talking about the other origin one, the good Gargamel. Why do you think he created Smurfette and sent her in?
Maybe to learn more about how they operate and why they're doing what they're doing, trying to figure out their end game, because she's different. Because usually all the Smurfs are guys,
Mm-hmm.
but because Smurfette is so different, maybe they'll take an interest in her and be like, "Hey, this is what we're doing." They'll eventually let her in on their little plan that they got for world domination or universal domination,
Right.
and then report back to good sorcerer Gargamel
Okay.
so he can try to stop them.
That's nice. That's good.
What do you got?
So I think that good Gargamel, being a human and a wizard, he had probably experienced life at some point outside of this little area. Had a mother, maybe, right? Maybe he just understood and knew that females tend to be more mature, faster than males, use more emotions in their thought process, whereas males are more analytical almost, just kind of straight to the point of this is what I see, this is what I should do. And women are, they think about feelings and what could happen that way. So maybe insert a woman to instill some of that maturity and that think about feelings kind of thing and push that onto the dumb little boy Smurfs.
Try to help them be better.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
Yeah. Help them grow and mature and learn their tender side.
Learn their tender side.
Yeah.
Get engaged with, how.
Have sympathy and tenderness.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Sympathy, empathy.
Yeah.
Make them think about what they're doing is wrong.
Right.
Could be.
Maybe that was the goal of good Gargamel.
Instill a little positive chaos within the community.
Yeah, that too. Something different, new and exciting. Purdy, known as having like beautiful blonde hair that she's swinging about.
Just swinging it.
Yeah.
There's some other theories. One of them, people are saying that the Smurfs are just another version for the communist agenda.
Them fucking commies, man.
Yeah.
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 That's bullshit.
Well, Papa Smurf wears a red hat.
Yeah.
And red is associated with communists. Their village, the Smurf village, is the perfect model for a socialist commune. Each Smurf is equal, meaning they all have the same status, except for Papa Smurf, because he's the leader. Each Smurf has its own job in the society so that the society itself doesn't collapse upon itself. The village itself is a closed market economy where every Smurf lives in the same size house. All the Smurfs are dressed the same, and they also lack any form of money, and they share all their goods and services. If they are atheists, they celebrate Christmas, and the communists are supposed to be anti-religious people.
Oh.
But in the Smurf TV show, they celebrate Christmas.
That's bullshit.
See, I guess I always thought like Communists were Catholic for some reason.
What the fuck?
I don't
Communist
know.
and Catholicism? No,
Yeah.
two totally different things.
I fear they're Christian of some sort.
No.
Yeah, man.
No. The Smurfs also have an obvious link to the KKK.
They have an obvious link to the KKK.
Well, they got white pointed hats and white
Oh,
outfits,
no.
and Papa
Yeah.
Smurf has a red hat and red clothes, indicating
Representing
he's
the leader of the
Right.
KKK, right? Because he wears red. He's like the red wolf or something like that. The Grand Wizard,
the Grand Wizard, whatever his name
the
is,
Grand Dragon,
something like
the
that.
Grand Red Dragon. So they're the oh my gosh,
Yeah,
still murdering kids probably.
probably everybody, all different
Yeah,
colors,
yeah, right.
children.
Just not the white ones.
So Smurfette has bright blonde hair
Yep,
and blue skin.
right.
She has the look of like an Aryan princess.
Yeah, KKK,
Yeah,
the Aryan Brotherhood,
right.
right.
So like the perfect look for an Aryan princess.
Blonde hair, blue eyes.
Right.
Damn, dude. The Smurfs are so dark in so many ways.
Yeah, it's wild.
I mean, that like racism and KKK and that shit's not cool. That's not awesome. That's not what I'm saying at all. And murdering kids, that's not awesome. Not about that. I have kids. I love my kids. Not saying any of that shit's awesome. I'm just saying the world's weird and I love it.
Gargamel and his cat, Azrael,
Yeah.
both have Jewish sounding names, which we already talked about that earlier, that they are, in fact, from the Jewish culture. And Gargamel himself has an elongated nose and other prominent Jewish features.
Mm-hmm.
Humpback, the love of gold, the
Did you
greediness.
say humpback?
He has a humpback.
What about people with like ankylosing spondylitis?
That,
They got hunchbacks.
I mean, some people.
Some of them.
There's also connection to the Smurfs and Satan, which again we also covered earlier.
Yeah, the demon, the
Right.
devil, Papa Devil.
Right. So Gargamel uses his black magic book, like a book of black magic.
Yeah, his spell book, his grimoire.
His grimoire. His cat's name is Azrael, or the
Yeah.
Angel of Death.
Yeah.
The Smurfs also rely on wizardry and magic to solve their problems.
Correct. Portals.
Portals, yeah.
Do you think the Smurfs ever just like portaling around the woods when Gargamel's out looking for them or like trying to set up traps and stuff and they're just like just fucking with them, just messing with them,
Oh yeah, 100%.
just like tripping them.
Oh yeah.
Just like running fishing line or vines or whatever they got, whatever they're using, rope they made maybe.
Could have
Stranding
been.
stuff together.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's just running through and they just portal across and trip him real quick. Or portal by and kick him in the ear. Something.
Kick him in the ear.
Yeah.
Portal on his shoulder. I'm right here.
Yeah.
Just flick.
You gonna eat your cornbread? That's what I would do if I was a Smurf.
Just mess with them. The whole
Hell
time.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Papa, put me in the woods, please.
But you got to do your job though.
Yeah, that's my job. Slowing down Gargamel.
Fucking
Being a
with them.
pestering Gargamel.
You're gonna be
I risk getting caught, but
yeah. But what kind of Smurf name would you get?
pestering. Pester.
Pester Smurf?
Yeah.
Tricky Smurf?
Little Dick Smurf?
Well-
No, not that one. No. I meant like I'm little and I'm being a dick, but no, not Little Dick Smurf. Annoyance?
An annoyance Smurf?
Yeah.
It's got to be something that rolls off the tongue.
Yeah. Prick Smurf.
Prick Smurf. Prick Smurf works.
Yeah.
The bane of Gargamel's existence, Smurf.
Yeah. That doesn't roll.
No. Which version of Gargamel do you think
Is accurate?
is the more accurate one? Yeah. Got good Gargamel or bad Gargamel?
Which one's more believable?
Yeah, there you go. Which one do you like better?
In my eyes, Origin 2 makes more sense as far as the mushrooms and how they come along, I guess. Because
How the Smurfs were originally created?
right. The Belgian one, there's a comic. There's part of Adventures in the deep lands of Never Ever Land.
The Cursed Land.
Yeah.
The Never Ever Land.
Yeah. Oh man, I don't know. Or the communism theory. Here's a communism ploy to spread across the world, and a lovable little concept with the one ruler to rule them all. I think
Is it Lord of the Rings? What?
One ring to rule them all.
That's bullshit.
Number 2 is the most interesting to me.
For sure, it's different.
Yeah, it blew my mind tonight. This is crazy. Luring kids and killing them and popping out and
Then
just
taunting
spreading
them?
everywhere. Yeah, and then taunting them. Yeah,
Yeah.
just being evil little pricks. What about you? What do you feel and think about this? What's your opinion on
Well,
what's more believable?
I'm not a fan of Origin 2 by any means.
No, I mean I am for the interesting
Oh, yeah.
point
yeah,
of view.
absolutely. But the fact that Origin 2 gives you a different look on it, it really makes you wonder what was originally planned for the Smurfs. Maybe this was the original one, but then he decided to do something different. Or, like I said, maybe
Maybe he traveled and wrote a different book in a different country or something.
or just told somebody about an
yeah.
idea, and then that person ran with it.
Yeah,
Look-
propped it in a different country, and
Yeah.
you know, and then it took off that way, and he wanted to see like the success of which one would work, and then whichever one worked is the one he promoted and got to pay off for him and include in the comic. Maybe they're both just wives' tales
It could be.
that he tested in 2 different like countries or something, 2 different cities, 2 something somewheres, wherever these 2 origins take place, and then he let it spread and see which one took off more and was more believable
Well, I
and
would
enjoyed.
I would think the good Smurfs would
Yeah,
You know,
fighting the evil.
would
Right.
obviously be like, oh well, we like these little guys.
Who
that
wants
were
to
taking
cheer for some?
some evil maniacal blue skinned
Yeah.
people?
No, who wants to cheer for Gargamel?
Yeah, no one wants to cheer for that
Right.
guy.
He's kind of ugly as shit. How I've always seen him portrayed, unfortunately.
He's got a hunchback with his big nose and his
Right. Whatever his origins are, I don't care. I'm just saying they never make him look good.
No,
he just don't ever
no.
look good.
Never. He's supposed to be evil. But Good Gargamel is an interesting way to look at it. What if Good Gargamel and the Good Smurfs were actually originally supposed to be together? But instead of like saving children, he was trying to protect the Smurfs from other people getting there.
Oh, kind of like Horton Hears a Who.
Right.
Just protecting them and their little
Right.
flower,
But
little land.
But in order to make that work, he needed gold, and he needed to transmute the gold from something.
And the Smurfs were the best thing he had.
So he had to sacrifice
Didn't have
them.
silver around, but he had Smurfs. If he only had silver, it would have all been good. Everyone would have been cool.
Yeah, we wouldn't have to worry about
Yeah.
nothing. Wouldn't have to worry about
Gargamel would
nothing.
have, if he just needed gold, he wouldn't have needed them. What a fascinating series of tales tonight.
Yeah, it's really an interesting thought on which way you look at it. Either way, good or bad.
Yeah.
The bad one's a lot more dark than I expected it to be honest.
Oh my gosh, yeah. I mean, you had told me that it was Smurfs and there was other theories or stories on it, and that's all I knew coming into this. I wasn't thinking lure kids to murder them and Ku Klux Klan. I know that's what I was not thinking. That was not anywhere in the vicinity of my thoughts of what I was going to hear. And
You had a little more faith that it was going to be something lighthearted, maybe.
yeah, I guess I thought it was going to be more lighthearted because that's how I had always kind of viewed them. I didn't think it was going to be murder, deceit, and just evil. The devil himself.
The devil himself.
Yeah. Shoo-wee!
Well, I think that's gonna do it for tonight.
Yeah, I'm out of here.
Yeah, let's get going. Thanks for coming. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for listening. We appreciate it.
Thank you guys so much for being here and joining us. It's always a blast.
Till next time,
I'm Cody.
I'm Tyler.
This is the Edible Attitude Podcast.